Hello and good morning everyone to my favorite time of my Monday morning when I get to jump on here and answer any of your questions with little Junior. Where are you, Junior? With Junior and I, whether you have questions about your pregnancy or birth or preparing for your second pregnancy or birth. Maybe you have some questions around baby and child first aid or an unwell baba, or even sleep and settle. So we had a huge week last week introducing our third program to our Birth Beat offering, which is our online sleep and settle course. And within that, we've actually introduced 4 programs so that there's 4 courses that you can go and watch the video content just like this, where we teach you everything about how to help your baby sleep and how to help you get some sleep across 4 different age groups. So 0 to 12 weeks, 12 to 6 months, 6 months to 12 months, and 12 months to 24 months. So that launched on Thursday, which was hugely exciting. I completely fell in a heap on Friday night, totally exhausted, and then had a lovely relaxing weekend. So pumped and excited to be back here, but I always love to know who I am talking to and say hello to you all wherever you are watching from around Australia and the world. I know we get lots of our Canadian mamas at this time because it is a good time for you. So please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, either if you are pregnant or how old your baby is. And I will quickly say hello to any of our new followers. My name is Edwina. It is wonderful to have you here, and I am a registered midwife, and I've been a midwife for 15 years, and I adore teaching all things birth education and helping parents to prepare to have their best experience. Hello, Carly. Good morning. Ashley, hello from Adelaide. Carly, my son is 9, so you're a little bit older, Carly, you're not a little bit older, sorry, that's a terrible thing to say. Your bubba is a little bit older, or is he 9 months? That's what I thought. I was like, Carly, I'm pretty sure you have a baby. Melbourne, 15 weeks, how fabulous. And Natalie has tuned in with Eliza from Shepparton. And Eliza is my sister's name, so I love when I see Natalie and Eliza popping in to say hello. I've had lots of comments from people saying that their babies really kick because they've heard my voice so much during the pregnancy, particularly those who are doing our online course. And I thought that was very funny to hear that maybe the babies are protesting. Maybe they don't like the sound of my voice, who knows? Ashley says my daughter is 6 weeks old, daughter won't sleep after 1 a.m. Ashley, go and have a look at our 0 to 12 weeks program. You can access it now for $35 a month. So super affordable. And I think for, essentially a little over $1 a day, it is well worth it to get you some sleep. And that investment will be going up on Thursday. It's just our introductory offer that's only going to be lasting till Thursday. So you can do a monthly option, or you can just access the program straight away and get the full program for 0 to 12 weeks. That is going to help you. We need to help flick that switch, Ashley. It is not party time at 1 a.m. It is sleep time. There's lots you can be doing in the day that might be able to help flick that switch as well. Kasha, hi from Melbourne, just turned 6 months, lovely. Georgie, yay, we've hit 35 weeks today, possibly induced in the next 4 to 5 weeks due to IVF. How exciting, Georgie. Your precious little baby will be here before you know it. Anyway, I will keep saying hello to you. If you have any questions, pop them in here now. I do my best to answer as many questions as I can, just depending on the day. Sometimes there's just too many for me to answer. I will do my best, if I don't get them all done here, to answer a few in stories as well on Instagram. Hello from Sydney with 7-month-old Bubba. Jade is Melbourne, 37 weeks pregnant, and I've been watching your live since the beginning. Thank you for all your help. Yay, Jade, I'm so happy. Bubba was measuring at the 12th percentile a couple of weeks ago and now at 24. Well, that's great news, Jade. And remember, when we always talk about the percentiles, though, a lot of people are worried around their baby either sitting on the smaller end of the percentile or the large. And you know what? On Thursday, I'm going to bring in Polly's Blue Book and do some explaining of what to expect in Australia around the Blue Books. So they are, and that's for New South Wales, but for all the different states in Australia, it's like your baby's passport to health. And on it are some charts where we show you how to, or the midwife or your GP will graph your baby's growth. And I think it's really good to be able to put that into perspective, that there's a spectrum for everybody. So if your baba is on the lower end of the percentile, that's okay. If they're on the upper end of the percentile, that's okay. We're not so focused on where they sit, we're focused on the trajectory of their growth. And has that been steady, or are we seeing a significant dip or a significant increase? They're the things that we're really concentrating on as healthcare professionals. Some babies just are smaller babies and will sit at the smaller end of the scale. Some babies are bigger babies. For example, Theo always sat around the 97th, 99th percentile. He's still a very tall boy, but again, you know, it's just, he was steadily growing at the 97th percentile, so it wasn't a concern. I think what happens is we hear like bigger baby or 97th percentile and we worry we're not going to be able to birth that baby. What comes with that is a lot of fear around vaginally birthing that baby, and that's why I just think it's so important to do some birth education, to know what it's going to look, sound and feel like, how to push, where to push, how to decrease your chances of tearing or requiring an episiotomy or whatever that looks like, but also knowing why you would be having it if you did need it, but what you can do to be decreasing your chances of tearing. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. Zune, hi Edwina, I'm from New Zealand, currently 29 weeks. It's lovely to see more and more of our New Zealand followers being able to check into. Mernaz, just go to birthbeat.com. You'll be able to see our 3 programs. You just hit shop programs and you can see the birth education and everything that's in that, the baby and child first aid and the sleep programs, and you'll be able to just choose whatever one works best for you. So just go and have a look at birthbeat.com. Hi Edwina, Barbara is 7 months old, been watching you from pregnancy. Oh, that's lovely, yay. Natasha, hi Ed, always love your lives. 29 weeks, Bub is measuring 80th percentile, but I finished hypnobirthing class and no longer scared. Yay, Natasha, that is great news. And that's what we like, that's it. It's about just kind of understanding that your body is built to do this, made to do this. We're all going to sit on different scales in terms of percentiles, so super duper important. In the Hunter Valley, there you go. All right, hi Edwina, Melbourne, currently 28 weeks, sitting in car doing glucose test. Oh, Sarah, feeling for you. I had very, very bad nausea when I was pregnant with Theo. I didn't have any with Polly, which I thought was interesting. And I think I vomited like 3 or 4 times doing my GTT test. And I was sitting in the waiting room just vomiting. And they said to me, look, do you want to stop? And I said, if I stop, do I have to come back and do it again? And they're like, yes. I was like, oh, no, I'll just persevere. But I really, really didn't like that test for me. All right, now, so if you have any questions, keep them coming, but I am just going to answer a couple that have come through with direct messaging. Now, the first one is about male circumcision. And I have to say, this is not an area of expertise for me. We're going to be doing some lives with a friend of mine who is a GP, and I feel like this definitely falls more into a GP or a pediatrician's space. So if you have some questions that you think would be good for the GPs for me to be asking, or you would like a live like that, or if you've got some other health professional that you'd love me to invite on here and do a live with, I am very happy to organize that. Around circumcision, very personal decision. I don't really, I'm not going to weigh in with my opinion around that. This was a woman who was reaching out to see if I knew anywhere locally. In my town of Tamworth, we don't actually have a doctor that performs male circumcisions. It's just not an option. You could travel if you wanted to. So I'm just gonna do your research, do what works for you and your family. I don't feel like that's an area where as a midwife I have a position, nor do I think, you know, other midwives should have a position. 100% personal decision for you. And just make sure that it feels right with the whoever is performing the procedure, and get educated. Make sure that you understand everything that you need to know around that. Anyone got any ideas as well around maybe some good resources that we can share here with other mums who are looking? Again, personally, I don't feel like it's something that I can weigh into. I'm just going to sort of say, I don't really feel like I've answered your question very well, but I don't think that I'm the person to answer your question. And the next one was around how to introduce a sippy cup at 6 months. And I get this quite a bit, particularly on our My Mother's Group page, where I jump over there on Mondays as well. There is no right or wrong way. What I will say is I get a lot of questions around when is it safe to introduce water? Do we have to boil the water? Things like that. When your baby turns 6 months of age, it's usually when we encourage you to start introducing, sorry, I'm so thirsty. It's when we encourage you to start introducing water. It does not need to be boiled, just ensuring that it's clean water. And thankfully where we live, we get a lot of access to clean water. With the sippy cup, again, there's no right or wrong sippy cup. What I find is a lot of mums go out and buy 15 different sippy cups because in the first day or two, bub doesn't get it. Now, almost treat that little sippy cup like a toy. They can have when they're, you know, sitting in the high chair, or they're starting to introduce some solids. It takes them some time to coordinate how to understand to drink from it. So whether you use one with little handles or one like that, whether you use one with a straw or more of a sort of squeeze with their teat, that doesn't really matter. What matters is you not stressing about it or sort of forcing the point, and importantly, letting bub just enjoy the process. So like with introducing solids, like when we're introducing food, it is super duper important that there's not stress or worry loaded on the baby, or if you're feeling stressed or worried, we're not sharing that, because again, it doesn't make it an enjoyable time. So yes, it's going to be messy. Yes, bub's probably going to get wet quite a bit. They're probably going to, you know, spill a bit of water down their chest. Those things all happen. But it takes time. So when you are choosing a sippy cup, just choose one that you think will work well and stick to it for a few days, for a couple of weeks. They will get it eventually. But I just think, like when you're introducing bottles, don't change to 10 or 15 different bottles. Give them a bit of time. When they're getting older and they're introducing solids, we also talk about the rule of 10. So introducing a certain type of food up to 10 times. And again, that is hugely powerful, because a baby might not like a certain type of food, a certain texture, a certain flavor the first time they're starting those solids. However, if you keep offering it, so rule of 10, offer it 10 times, I can guarantee you are much more likely to introduce more of a variety of foods when you work off the rule of 10. Really important. And we really want children to be able to explore and taste a different variety of foods and build up so that they're getting lots of calories during the day, and it also is very closely connected to them getting more sleep during the night. So actually part of our sleep program is we talk about the benefits of breastfeeding, but also how to breast and bottle feed your baby. And then we talk about in the 6-month program about how to introduce solids, what allergen foods to be concerned about and how to introduce those safely, because all of nutrition is actually really closely related to sleep. Rachel has just said, hi Edwina, currently 23 plus 3 weeks in Yeovil, New South Wales. We're traveling to Queensland for a wedding. When I'm 32 weeks. Any tips? I'm planning to take all my paperwork and take hospital bags for baby and me just in case. Very, very good plan, Rachel. And I teach all of my mums in our Birth Beat childbirth courses to, if you are traveling, particularly in the last trimester, to make sure that you travel with your paperwork and your cards. You can present and birth at any hospital, essentially. But what's important is that we know a bit about your history with your pregnancy, also particularly your blood types or any medications you're on. So make sure that your partner knows where that information or that paperwork is being carried as well. always in the last trimester carrying a maternity pad in your handbag or car or wherever you are. So if your waters do break, you know that you have something to travel to the hospital with a pad on. And then the last thing is, yes, you need stuff for you and Bub, but if you haven't already got your car capsule, or if you do have your car capsule, I would be putting that in the boot as well. Because if you're traveling to Queensland and you happen to get stuck there or birth your baby there, you definitely want to have a car capsule there for on your way home. There we go. Kiralee said, hey Edwina, how do we go about getting a one-on-one consult? Thanks, Kiralee. That's a great question, and I don't think I did a very good job of explaining that. I actually spent Sunday afternoon doing a whole bunch of one-on-one consults with mums and dads around their baby's sleep, which was a lovely way to spend my afternoon. So Kiralee, when you join the program, either the $35 per month or the specific age group programs, whichever you choose, just go to birthbeat.com. You'll get an option to have a one-on-one consult with me if you have something a bit more specific or something particularly you want to explore and make a plan around so that we can action that really quickly with your sleep, and then you get follow-up one-on-one support from me as well. Rachel, that's great. I hadn't thought of that. Rachel, you would be surprised how many people travel without the baby capsule and then have to purchase a second one if something does happen. So yes, add that to your list of things to do by all means. Around the one-on-one consults as well, I should just say they usually take about 45 minutes, an hour, and then you have follow-up access with text and email, just so that you can really pinpoint because with some sleep issues, there might be particular things like you're wanting to go back to work or planning to go back to work, or wanting to introduce a bottle, or making sure that your partner can introduce a bottle in case around the sleep, you're needing to get a bit more sleep. So it can be really different. It can be really varied around what your personal issues are, and we are able to support you with that, which is hugely exciting. So just go and have a look at birthbeat.com. All the program options are there. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me and send me a message. It is as easy as that. All right, team. Well, I will continue to answer any of your questions if you want to put them in Instagram stories. Have a think about what health professionals you would like me to invite. We have the wonderful Priya, who we're going to be getting on soon, who's just a brilliant GP. And we will start with any questions about circumcision. A lot of people have had questions around immunizations and the vaccine rollout for COVID-19. So I thought it would be good for us to be able to address and explore that. And we're also getting a fertility specialist on to host a couple of lives with me. So if that's something, again, that you have any questions about, just start to think about that and bank those questions. And when I put the call out there, you can let me know if you have any questions around that. Kirsty said, my little one just screams now when I put her down for sleep. It's breaking my heart. I don't know what's changed. Kirsty, how old is your little one? Do you want to just quickly let me know that? Because we definitely see at different stages and different ages that this can happen. So I just want to know that I'm best able to answer or support you on that one. Again, it's very different for different ages. 6 months. Okay. Yep. So Kirsty, we would definitely be able to put a bit of a plan in there for you. Bub is very conscious now of surroundings and very aware. So we need to put some strategies into place so that she feels secure and comfortable going to sleep on her own. And you're feeling happy so that you're not having to listen to the heartbreaking cries. Nobody wants that. And it's not, just so you know, if that is the method that you choose, then that's absolutely fine. Birthbeat's approach is actually very soft but very useful tips and tricks that will actually get you results, but they do not involve crying it out. Natasha just said, what time should I introduce a birth plan to my midwife? How early is too early? Natasha, I think it's really important to start talking to your midwife about your birth wishes very early on. There is no right or wrong time. What I would say, and go and have a look at our website again under free resources, we have a little template of how to write out your birth wishes, and that might just help you to start to think about how to create those birth wishes, how to communicate them with your midwife, and just things that you might not have even started to think about yet. So go and have a look under free resources, and we've got how to write a birth plan or birth wishes. Hi Edwina, any tips for introducing formula to exclusively breastfed baby? Bub's currently 7 months old and planning to go back to work after 2 more months. Yeah, so it's a good time to start to think about that. Maybe just having a look at what feed each day you would like to. Has Bub had a bottle at all? When you are introducing formula, if you have some express breast milk or some frozen breast milk, sometimes it's a nice idea just to make a little mixture, maybe a little bit more EBM, and start slowly introducing a bit of formula. You can just try putting some formula in a bottle and see what Bub thinks. Some babies just take it and thrive. Some are a little bit more fussy and prefer a slower. So I sort of call it the cold turkey or a staged introduction. So think about what feed Bub takes really well each day, and you can just choose a time of the day where you start to introduce 1 bottle a day. And again, you might put more breast milk and a bit of formula and then start to switch that around, or just try and see how Bub goes. So there's the cold turkey or the staged, whichever works for you. All right, team, that has been fabulous, and I will jump into stories and answer some questions, and you have a think about what you would like me to ask our visiting specialists when they come. Talk soon. Bye.